Good morning, British literature students. Welcome to almost the end of the semester. All right, there's not much to do this week except for the fact that you're doing your first draft of your research paper. Yeah, not much, right? Yes, you are doing the first draft of your research paper. This is probably the most work-intensive week of the entire semester. So, notice that the due date for those is on Wednesday. I've commented on all your annotated bibliographies already. Remember that the purpose of a bibliography is twofold. One is that you are using it as a tool to help you write. One of the best things you can do, as I said before, is put direct quotes in the actual annotations that you plan on using in your paper. That way, when it comes time to do the direct quote, all you got to do is do a little copy-paste out of the annotated bibliography, make sure you get the page number right. You don't have to go flipping through the book, or you don't have to go flipping through the article. The second purpose of that, and if you watch my annotated bibliography video, I had you take my sample of annotated bibliography and delete those annotations and change the words annotated bibliography to works cited. And if you did it correctly, you should notice that you had a perfectly formatted works cited page. So that's the second part of what an annotated bibliography is for, is to make sure that you have a perfectly formatted works cited page. Now you're taking that research and you're incorporating it into a paper. And your basis for that, of course, is the posting that you did. Now, watch that research video that I put up and use those documents, that 2009 MLA style guide. And yes, I'm fully aware of the fact that about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, MLA changed the rules on you. But that doesn't apply to the actual quotations. That only applies to the entries on a works cited page. So, and to the in-text citations if necessary, which won't affect you because you're using peer-reviewed sources off of a database. So, by the way, we're still doing. You can try to use the new rules if you want to. In fact, one student did, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But I'm also perfectly fine with you just using the rules that you've been using all along. And then in the fall, of course, we're going to start enforcing the new rules for MLA a little bit differently. Which probably won't affect most of you because this is going to be your final English class. It will affect you, though, if you take another class that requires MLA. And we'll let the teacher that you take for that class decide. So, get that first draft in by Wednesday night. I will go in there and I will make the comments on your drafts. I will return them to you as quickly as possible. My goal is to have that done by Friday. Now, one thing I'd like to suggest is that some of you call me on the phone during my office hours, or some of you come visit my office during my office hours and get some face-to-face time with me. Now, if you live in, let's say if you live in Savannah and you have a 9-to-5 work schedule, I understand that's going to be impossible, at which time I will give you the written comments. But honestly, I think you will get more out of actually talking to me and having some give and take where you can ask me questions and get immediate answers than you're going to get out of the notes that I give you. That's not to say that the notes won't help you. I'm going to make those notes as thorough and as helpful as I can. But do understand that I do better when on the phone calls or on the office visits, if that's possible. So, that's it. That's it for this week. Let's get those first drafts in. And then, of course, you'll have the final draft due on May the 1st. But the first draft is due this Wednesday. And it's important you get those in because that way I can give you whatever input is necessary to help you write a much better research paper and get a much higher grade on it. And because this research paper is worth 25% of your grade, you definitely want my input on the first draft. So that's it. Have a good week. Happy writing, and I look forward to seeing those first drafts.